everyone, welcome to Maple Family Diaries. Today I will be showing you how to fill the Rnip applications. So this is the official website of Rnip. So once you go down, you will get the community and the community websites. So for example, I will just go inside the North Bay, Ontario one. When you go down, you will get the application process. So information for applicants. Once you click that, you will get the application process. It's quite easy. It's a step-by-step process, so you have everything in it until you get the work permit. So once you apply for the Rnip, you can apply for the PR and then also for the Rnip work permit. So today I will be focusing on the Moostio Rnip application process. So I'm going to click that. So this is the website of Rnip Moostio. So you go to applicants and here you get all the information with regard to application process. So what are the forms and also eligibility criteria, and you have a document checklist, Moostio Rnip document checklist. So that will give the documents needed. So I will click the Rnip document checklist, and this provides all the necessary information that you have to attach. So some might not be relevant for you because if you don't have any volunteer certificates, you don't have to attach them. So if you don't have any mandatory regulatory certificates, you don't have to attach them. So other than that, other documents are mandatory documents like the language proficiency, ECA or the Canadian credentials, work experience, and as I said, the certifications, if applicable, you can attach it. And if you have a connection to the community, if you have a relative, so you can attach a letter. Probably I will explain it in the later video. So then the proof of knowledge and proof of language proficiency of your spouse, and so many other documents are needed. So we will go through this once again. So this is the Rnip candidate application form. So first of all, we'll go to that application. You can take a printout and handwrite it, but I would rather prefer typing it. So what you can do is you can download this and then save it, and then you open it, maybe probably in the Microsoft Edge. So you can get the text and type it. So for example, if I type Sam and Silva here, so likewise you can fill it out, email, phone number, spouse information if applicable, if the spouse is also coming, so those details. And here also they have given those forms again, 5911, that is from your side, and 5984 from the employer's side. The language requirement and the highest level of education qualification you have. Then here shows the work experience. So it should contain your resume, cover letter, and preferably a reference letter from your employer, your pay slips, and also a service letter. So they have given what are the things that you should include in the letter. So job title, responsibilities, hours of working, and the salary, and everything like that. If you have any voluntary certifications, or if you are to get any regulatory certificates, you have to attach them as well. Connection to community is if you have a immediate family member, parent, sibling, child or grandparent, uncle, aunt, cousin, niece, nephew, someone. You can get a letter from them, but make sure they have lived in Moose Jaw for more than 1 year, and they should be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. And if you have a driver's license, you can say yes, and then you can definitely attach that as well. And if you already reside in Moose Jaw, you probably have a lease agreement or any kind of proof document, billing proof or anything like that. And knowledge of community is for the candidates who are not residing in Moose Jaw, but you will get marks if you have at least stayed 2 nights in Moose Jaw, and you can then obtain marks for that as well. So this is the spouse's language proficiency, so you can mention them it's not compulsory for the spouse to have language proficiency, but it's good. And then the spouse's job, if he's already working here, and the work experience, and then whether the spouse is currently working here or not, residing here or not. And then you can here provide whatever the information which is relevant that you think would be important, so that that will support your application. So I will just jot down some of the points, but they have to be proved with documentation. I'm just giving you some examples, such as if you have a volunteer certificate, you can attach it. And if you have kids and they are attending school here, so probably you can get school confirmations so that you can attach them. Kids school confirmations, and lease agreements, as I said before. And also if you have a relation or family member or anyone in that category, so is a permanent resident or a citizen who has already lived for 1 year, you can put that close relative family member, that letter. You can obtain a letter from that person and then include it in the application. So these are some of the points. There will be some other points depending on your situation. So anything helps your application process, please attach those documents. So you have been given a chance to support your application, so this is the best chance you have got. And then you have to put the signature and date. So we have done the candidate application form, and we are going to do the 5911. So this form is for the applicant, so you have to put the family name, and then the given names, and the passport number, and date of birth you can select from there, and the country of birth, and the country of citizenship, and the country of residence where you currently live, and the telephone number, email address, and marital status, and number of accompanying family members, not including you. So if it is 4, you have to put 3. So then the applicant's address and country postal code and things like that. And then the offer of employment. So who is your employer, the telephone numbers, mailing address, province, country, postal code, and email address, and if your office, and the website actually, and if your office is in some other location, you have to provide that address right here, and the email address, job title, and the NOC code, so that should match exactly. So you can refer it to the official website for clearance. And then the NAICS, North American Industrial Classification Sector, this can be taken from even from the Rnip program coordinator if you are not sure about it, or else this is the website. So like, if for example, if I select real estate and rental, so once you go inside, so if I select real estate subsector, and if the industry group is lessors or real estate, so I select that, and then the industry, you have to select it, and then this will show you 5-digit number. Actually the code should be 6 digits. So you can select depending on the industry you are in. So the business code has to be checked before putting it. The main duties of the job, so you can give a precise description about it. And then they ask whether the employment is for an indefinite period, whether it's a permanent job or not, so you can give that, and the expected starting date, and describe how you found the job, so whether you had an interview or any kind of like test or anything, so you can mention it. And then whether you met the employer in person or remotely or what, so you have to tick that. And then the language proficiency, so what test you took, whether it's IELTS or CELPIP, and the results date and the date you took the test, and the results has to be given. And then the work experience, so if you are a student, you can say yes, and if you are not a student, you can say no there. And then starting with your current occupation, list your occupations with the preceding 3 years and provide proof. So you can add any amount of work experience here. So you have to put the dates, name, location, job title, who the employee is, NOC code, and the duties and responsibilities. So everything has to be mentioned here. So make sure once you are putting the employment details, whether this is really relevant to the current position that you are going to work. So make sure that it tallies with the experience. So you can click the plus button and get more experience tabs, so that you can include your experience. Then the education, what is your highest level of education, and the institution that you got it from, and the address of that, province, country, postal code, and things like that. And whether you completed your education from Canada or outside. So if it is outside, you have to give the ECA where you got it, for example West Canada, and the date issued, and the certificate number. Then the settlement of funds, so I am aware of the settlement fund requirement to apply for the permanent residence. So here you have to definitely put yes. So you have to say that you are aware of it, and you put your signature and the date. So once you complete the application, you can validate it, so that you can see whether there are any loopholes in your application, and then you can save the application. And so that is the 5911. And then you have now we have got the candidate application 5911 and the 5984. This is from the employer's side. So this is the 5984 application. So this gives the company details, their registration and everything. So here after filling it, employer has to put the name, signature and the date. And you also, as an applicant, you have to put your name, signature and the date. so you can probably validate it and save it. And then this is the passport copy, the first page of the biodata, and then the IELTS or CELPIP results, and ECA or Canadian Credential Education results. Then the work experience, so you can add your pay stubs, reference letters and service letters, so whatever the things to prove your experience, and the proof of certification if you have voluntary or mandatory certifications. Then proof of connection to community, that is if you can get a letter from a relative, if driver's license if you have it, and proof of residence if you have any billing proof or lease agreement or anything like that if you're already staying here. And knowledge of community is for people who have just stayed maybe for 1 to 2 days, 2 to 3 days, so you can give the hotel bills, and then the proof of language proficiency as of the spouse, and the jobs they if applicable, and proof of residency, and valid work permit. So these are all for the spouse. So from the employer side, so there are few more applications to be filled. So it will be the one would be the employer application. So this has to be filled by the employer. So it has the organization name, address, phone number, employer name, and whether they have read the federal or community criteria. You have to say yes. So when the business was established and how many years in operation, and are there any violations of provincial employment standard or violations of the Immigration Protection Acts, and if you have any positions to be filled in future, you can the employer can give those positions as well, so which goes through the Rnip process. And then whether they have what type of action they have taken towards the community, so things like that. So it's all has to be filled by the employer, and they can also state any more comments. So this is the employer application. And then the employer declaration. So employer declaration, the employer has to put the name, the company name and everything, and sign in there. And then the certificate of registration. So if an employee is hired by closed work application, so they have to first of all register here. So this is the website. So there's a document checklist there, so probably employer can fill it out and apply for that. So if you go to the applicant, so we have discussed almost all the forms here. So once all the forms are ready, you can email this to the program coordinator with all the attachments. So we hope you found this video very useful. Please let us know in the comment section about your thoughts. We will check the PR application filling process in our next video. Please do like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification to check our next videos. See you soon and take care until then.